Quadrant. Their story's just getting started. Get up and get loud, it's game day. Let's play some Rocket League.
So for Relating Wave, it is all about the revenge mission. Last time we were in Europe, it was Com and the rest of V1 that dashed fans' hopes of seeing Relating Wave and the rest of Endpoint, especially Metza, over on the stage. Now Wave get to try and right that wrong, but I do like the point that the Desk brought up there, Johnny. Com has got two rookies staring across at him that he can chirp at.
Yeah, surely Com's going to be feasting in this matchup. It's a really tough draw, I think, for Quadrant. I mean, shocking, honestly. I think not a unanimous pick across the desk. I think V1 are heavy favorites. I want to know who's that guy on the desk. What's he done with T-Bait? Predicting Quadrant to win this one. Beast mode. The man of every moment on day one. V1, the team who are currently undefeated on day ones. At least when it comes to majors last season.
Cash does clear. Well referenced as LAN rookies, but they've been around a while. Cash and Eeks, though, both have been players that we have been waiting to see, both individually on other teams, just like, when are you going to finally step up to the potential and the talent level that we know you've got? Finally have done exactly that, but they're up against it, and Ixo dodges one, gets the ball away from another, but V1 have had all the offense so far.
They're just getting bastard around the place right now. Ixo just doing enough there, but barely. This is exactly what we expected from V1 early on. They're testing the water, not just with the pressure, but also off the ball, as you'd expect. I mean, Quadrant knew this was going to happen to them. They knew this was coming, but so does everyone who plays against V1, and that doesn't seem to help, even if you know it's coming. Look at Torment now with the reset. Looks like his teammate didn't expect that one. V1 have just had constant pressure here. The ball has hardly left the Quadrant half.
Here is Torment now on the ball. He's added extra wrinkles to his game over the past year. Very much was the anticipated third man, especially when he came away from Cloud9. He's adding more and more, but here's Beast Mode over to Torment! And he didn't need to find the top corner this time. Torment just gets it over the line.
Yeah, just far too easy there. Relating Wave in a 1v2. He's afraid of the shot from Beast Mode. Could not cover the back post approach from Torment. Lovely little passing play from Version1. A clean finish to a game that has been absolutely filthy so far from V1, but in a good way.
Relating Wave actually got caught out. So the ball goes skying over the top of him as he tries to collect the mid boost and then move in. And it is back to the only side of the field that we have seen in this game. Finally a short detour through the blue side of the field. We'll see how long this ends up lasting. For Quadrant, they've got to make this work. Remember, you only need one win in this Swiss to make it to the crowd days. Not that that is going to be all that easy either. Two teams will be utterly heartbroken. Version1 had to do a bit of work actually to get this ball out of the side of the field, but they were still pestering and annoying the other side.
You know, when you look at players getting chased around the field by Com, you can see the impact that he has on them. He's really forcing players out of position and forcing them to split their attention between the ball, between the play, and just trying to stay alive in the position. But when you watch Com's own POV, he doesn't take himself out of the game to do this. He's really good at finding openings to make those plays while still remaining relevant and making himself a passing option and making it very easy for his teammates to play around him despite making it so difficult for his opponent.
As well as he just doesn't use anything. He hits Supersonic and just maintains it the entire time. Doesn't leave the car up into the air. Beast Mode does get rid of it. Still no major opportunities for Quadrant. I've been seeing more of the ball in the past minute and a half, but really that has been about it. Back into the midfield. Ixo on the wall. Hasn't got the best first touch for it. Still does work the ball well. Cash off the wall. No more boost for him. And that's a bit of a recurring theme if you keep an eye on the top right.
Yeah, slight missed first touches here from Quadrant. You saw the two offensive talismans there, Ixo and Cash, both hitting their first touch slightly out of reach. They weren't able to get back to it. That's not something you expect to see from this team. If there's one thing Quadrant are known for, online at least, making those first touches happen. They've got a good chance now. That was the best opportunity of the game. Still time for Quadrant to pull this one back, but will they stretch themselves too thin in the hunt for the tie game?
Minute 20 on the clock. Quadrant at least finding a couple of demos. Relating Wave is still searching for it. Torment had to be very wary. Now the reset. Cash can't go any further than he did. But Quadrant are growing into this game. Are they going to get the goal? No, Crossbar will deny them their first LAN goal. And now Beast Mode, he's taking everybody on. This will be the one that Version1 fans will be hoping comes into his own gear very quickly in this tournament, because if they can do that, they go very far up on the tournament favorites list.
Yeah, certainly Beast Mode expected to be an impact player, regardless of the outcome of this series. I think all of V1 have had an impact so far, but actually late in the game, Quadrant's great chances. There's the best one, and it's in for Cash. Well, 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 Version1, one of the greatest teams in the world at holding a 1-goal lead, have completely blundered there. Double missed. Com didn't have a lot of boost. Beast Mode did, though, but both missed on the overhead clear.
Well, Cash has been dreaming about opening up his international land goal scoring. I don't think in his wildest dreams it was going to be like that. Maybe a reset, maybe a mid-air demo, not Version1 tripping over themselves. And this is the reason why no matter how good you are, you need that second goal. Beast Mode might provide it. Oh. Crossbar will deny it. Coming in clutch for both teams.
Yeah, a couple of crossbars, one for both teams, like you mentioned. Those are shots that you'd expect to see hit the target. Will there be another opportunity before overtime here? Looks like Version1 thought about it. Torment instead just drops the ball onto the ground, and it will be overtime for the first game of the entire event.
And I expect to see quite a few of these, if recent Rocket League is anything to be believed. Beast Mode clears, only as far as Ixo. Oh, that was so close, but Beast Mode has at least managed to get some contact. Quadrant have turned this completely around now. That's an awkward ball for Com. Can't get a huge amount on it. Infield for Cash, goes to net, crossbar, relating wave, can't get it over the line. Beast Mode, what a recovery!
And now Beast Mode's transitioning. He doesn't have enough boost to make a play offensively, at least not a 1v2 play like we're used to seeing from him. That was it right there from Quadrant. Couple of great chances. They're still piling on the pressure though, and the saves are starting to come in for Version1.
Beast Mode going for it. Doesn't like the idea of two orange cars waiting for him, so try to play for time. Instead, it's become Quadrant's time over in the offense. Relating wave, good challenge. Cash ends up leaving it for Ixo. Relating wave would have been the passing option, but instead wave was going for some bumps. And now it's to Ixo again. Those infields are getting closer and closer for Quadrant, but now we've got the demo. Relating wave doesn't get a great challenge for himself. Because it's pushed into the corner, that buys some time.
It looks like Quadrant are trying to fight fire with fire here, making plenty demo plays themselves, surviving with low boost in defense now. It's a good 50 by Cash. No one from Quadrant pressing up into the middle to receive it. It's Version1's ball, actually now transitioning to the other side of the field. Version1 are giving a lot of respect to Quadrant here. We saw constant pressure from them at the start of the game. Now it's a lot more back and forth. Opportunities falling for both sides, but well played. Relating wave is offloaded to Cash here. Beast Mode called upon, intercepted. Could be a deadly play.
Ixo still sticking around. Quadrant have lost their fear previously, holding all three players behind the ball, now happy to just loiter in the opposing corner. Ixo, when's he going to make his move? He's not aware that Beast Mode's on zero boost. Torment moves on in. This is actually a nice spot. Com looked for some players. But again, the boost situation over on V1 was not good enough for the situation that they found themselves in.
Oh, that's one at the back now for Liquid.
Oh, that's so good!
Too good for Version1. Second man commits for Quadrant. Ixo and Cash both completely committed to a play that looked to be on the wrong side of even, in my opinion, and that just left Relating Wave completely stranded. Can't really blame him there. How quick were Version1 to capitalize though? As soon as they realized they're in a 3v1, is just set up the shot and scored.
And there is no right option there for Relating Wave. You're sat there, it's done. Do not, you don't want to leave most people in a 2v2 against Com, because he's going to look for both of them, let alone 2v1.
Yeah.
The moment you put that 2v1 out there, it is finished for Version1. But for Quadrant, there will be some positives to come out of this, especially, I feel like we are more positive looking at this 2-1 scoreline than this ended at a 1-0, with the way things were going.
Yeah, no, Quadrant can be happy with how they fought back in this game. I think the Cash will be pretty disappointed that he threw it away there.
That was so close.
That was very unfortunate. The way the ball bounced actually ended up a bit side on to Relating Wave, but yeah, at the end of the game there, Relating Wave's, he's anticipating a bump from Com, so he's running onto the backboard to stay away from it, and he ends up not being able to get down off the backboard to save the rolling shot. Very, very tough position there. Can't really blame him. I mean, it was mainly Cash's mistake for lunging into a play that looked very speculative, in my opinion. And that's after Ixo's already fully committed, and Ixo's probably saying, I'm slow back. If Ixo's slow back, Cash cannot commit there. He has to pick the challenge. He has to stay active in the play, has to keep pressure on the ball. Otherwise, he's just leaving Relate Wave out to dry.
Well, we'll see what we get from them at the start of this game, and we're looking at an early goal. As Cop moves in, shut down by Ixo. Well, very much how we started off the last game. Version 1 on the front foot.
It's a great save from Quadrant to deny Version 1. Version 1 look clinical. This is what they've been known for ever since they made their first LAN appearance in the Winter Major last season. They just have a very high floor. You know what you're going to get from them, and that is so helpful on a day one where teams tend to be a little bit rusty. They're not quite used to the setups yet. Key challenge there from Version 1. Can't be giving Cash any extra time in the ball. Might still play there from Relating Wave. Back pass after faking a bump. Version 1 don't look too bothered by all this. They're keeping bodies in the way of the ball. Even when Boost is running low, they're a tough team to break down.
For Quadrant as well, it's not like they came into this tournament with a huge run of form. Finished the last tournament 12th to 14th place, only a 1-3 record. For a bunch of players that have not been playing at this level before. And they check this out actually, Johnny, have a 1-5 record against teams from Europe that actually made it to this event, which I feel like is actually more just somehow dodging the big teams because they made a second place.
Yeah, the time a lot of those wins get that Quadrant were getting, I mean, they beat BDS in the first event. We're all thinking, well, that's obviously a team who are going to make the major, so that's a good quality win. Then BDS don't make the major, you know, does that make the win any less valuable? Possibly, but I mean, I still think Quadrant have got quality online performances to look back on. How much does that really help you when you're up against LAN veterans like Version 1? And not ancient LANs, although in Torment's case, he's been playing for so long, he's got the ancient LAN experience and the more recent ones as well. These guys have got very relevant recent LAN experience. Quadrant do not. What can Relate Wave do with this? Actually on target, not a bad effort. Clear is less than ideal. Cash punishes it with a very well placed double.
And that is why you want Relating Wave right there. The goal would be nice, but the chaos that it causes defenses is just as important. Quadrant 1, Version 1 0, 3 minutes left to play. And Quadrant not letting their heads drop, although these kickoffs are dangerous. That is the third one where Version 1 have had a playable position from it, and they're still in a good spot.
It has been, I think, overall a pretty good performance from Quadrant when they're having to play on the back foot. I've liked what I've seen from them.
I only would have been upset if we kept with the first 2 minutes. Then there would have been problems, but this is fine. This is workable for a tournament.
I think so. I mean, I expected V1 to be more in control coming into this matchup. This is actually, I think, going very well for Quadrant so far. I thought they would take longer to settle into the match, and I thought we'd see a bit more from Beast Mode. I mean, V1 have done their thing, but we haven't seen that big pop-off yet from Beast Mode. Shot on target there from the aforementioned, but it's nothing crazy. It's nothing that Quadrant aren't used to. It's nothing they can't handle.
It has typically been the pass over to Torment that has been the most lethal thing that Version 1 have had in their pocket. Just not getting to those positions anymore. You need to force those panicked clears, and Quadrant haven't even had to be all that defensive. Now once again, playing off their opponent's backboards. Quadrant finding a lot of success in those spots. Beast Mode just being left alone to do his thing, maybe. Don't let him do that all too often, but this one for Quadrant does work out. Straight over to Torment. Beast Mode on his right-hand side, decides to go low, and Cash had both options covered. He keeps going, gonna leave it for a teammate, and Beast Mode had to pre-jump to get there.
Good timing and defense from Beast Mode, just cutting off the shot exactly as it was happening. Quadrant are, I think, aware of what V1 are trying to do here. V1 are trying to bait Quadrant in. They're trying to catch them on the counter, just like they did at the end of Game 1. Quadrant are being a lot more careful to focus on that recovery, that follow-up plan to whatever it is they're sending forward. See here, Relating Wave. He's an option in the middle there, but if it doesn't happen, he's immediately turning back out into the midfield so he can make plays straight away. Version 1 have got to, I think, up the aggression here. You know, they've waited for a long time for a counter-attack. Hasn't happened. Where are the demos? Where are the big plays from Beast Mode that we're so used to seeing? Oh, this might be it. Reset for Beast Mode. infield, and it's over one, not over the second, but it's a free shot for Com, and he snipes the top corner.
What a shot by Com. What a setup from Beast Mode. But look at this. Com is fully aware that the pre-jump has to come in, and the pre-jump has to go as far on the opposite side of the goal as they can get, so why not put it where they once were?
That was perfect placement from Com, right next to Cash, the last man for Quadrant, but there's no way for Cash to actually get there. All his momentum was in the other direction. His car's facing the other direction. Com on the ball, brilliant. Off the ball, really in a league of his own at times. How will Quadrant respond though? They've lost the lead late here. That's going to be a bit of a mental blow. Oh my goodness! That's one way to do it!
What on earth? I'm really upset that hit the post.
What a dunk.
Wow!
What a dunk by Cash. He's completely destroyed Version1. Look at the clock as well, just 13 seconds left.
I'm surprised that hasn't put just a hole through the post itself. That was unbelievable, and with 10 seconds left, Version1 have to scramble, or this is going to be a 1-1 series. Beast Mode, exactly the play they wanted on this. Hasn't got any support. Oh, there is Com off the backboard. Ixo delays. He's made a mistake. Still got there. What a recovery by Ixo. Now, if the ball hits the floor, Quadrant have got their first game.
Unreal recovery, but here come V1 again. They're not able to get on the end of it. Two players were up for it, but looks like they had a bit of a miscommunication.
Snappy nose.
Yeah, Ixo there missed the initial read, but recovered brilliantly on the backboard. And some of these little plays in defense from Quadrant have been, I think, levels above what we expected from them in terms of composure. We thought that they would be panicking with V1 coming at them.
Can you remember once where they've just hit it as hard as possible just to get rid of the pressure? They've been very happy to take Version1 on that midfield challenge, and they've done well. I do really like, I mean, take a look at that.
It is the Cash show in offense. He's completely taken over. And online, it's been a little bit of Cash and then a little bit of Ixo, but today it's just all Cash.
Wow.
Monstrous dunk.
Yeah, that was in slow-mo, by the way.
He had all three players to beat. There was a couple of players challenging him, and one other one on the goal line, and he's just gone past all three of them by himself. Ridiculous game by Cash. We're talking about Beast Mode as being the guy to do that, but Cash has completely stolen the show so far.
I wasn't ready for the world where Cash was a land boy, but I feel like we should have known.
We should have.
We've seen him play at like twos lands.
Actually, yeah, in a twos land with Relating Wave where he beat Ixo in the final.
Smashed everybody. It was like 8-0s on the way to that one.
We're calling it a twos LAN. It was a very small LAN that we casted him in, so not exactly the same as an RLCS major, but this is great from Quadrant. A team that many doubted coming in, and in a matchup against Day 1 V1, I think you've got to expect them to struggle, but they've shown up, and they've so far had exceptional form. Cash popping off in offense, whole team holding it down in defense, staying calm in the face of a very aggressive Version1 squad. Will we see more aggression from Version1 though? Because they kind of sat back on a 1-goal deficit in that game. They didn't really press to tie the game until it got late in it, which they did do, by the way, but I think they looked a lot better going forward in game 1, where they just pinned Quadrant in and forced them to look uncomfortable.
I can't believe I have to say this about Version1 of all teams, but they need to be disrespectful with the way that they are playing this. They cannot afford look at every single Quadrant attempt at a transition and think that this is going to work out. You've got to trust the person that's going in for the challenge to win it, because if you can do that and wipe out the third man, who is very static on Quadrant, then you're in a brilliant spot. You can leave yourself in that 2v1 all over again. As we've seen with Version1, that's as good as a goal. There just isn't that confidence because Cash is doing this to them, and Ixo almost sniped Com out of the air. This is actually a good spot now. They're on the transition with everyone facing backwards.
Look at that defensive play though from Ixo, just deflecting the ball to a safe location and giving his teammates time to recover. They've done that exceptionally well here to really slow down the Version1 counterattacks. And I think Version1 have just given Quadrant a bit too much space to settle into this match. Cash's first touch is absolutely perfect now. He is just running the show in the midfield. Ixo and Relating Wave they look comfortable in this lobby, and that was the big question mark. Would Wave be comfortable? Would Ixo be comfortable his LAN debut? Well, I think V1 might have let them into this a little bit too much, and now it's actually Quadrant who have most of the plays going their favor. There's another one. Oh, it's a great attempt to save it, but Ixo gets the goal for Quadrant. And look at the pop-off on the face cams. They are loving it.
That must feel amazing for Quadrant. And I have to fully agree with you here, Johnny. You thought if there was a team out there that could make LAN rookies feel as uncomfortable as possible, it was going to be Version1.
Yeah.
But the way this is planned out, this has kind of been a bit more of a grind of a match than it has been sort of seeing if you can completely end the other team as it's up the side of the field, relating waves on the board, and Quadrant are all smiles.
Well, that's all of them now. They've all scored. They're all going to be chuffed to themselves. But what is going on with V1? I mean, these are not the kind of goals you expect to see them conceding at an open net against Version1, one of the most organized defensive teams in the entire world, one of the most consistent LAN teams in the entire world for the past year. Quadrant are right now the better team by a fairly comfortable margin.
Basically been watching scrims. There's no way. No way he didn't know. And there is still time though for Version1 to get right back into this. As impressed as we have been with Quadrant, we also know Version1, they know how to mix things up. Well, that's off the backboard, and Cash is very stuck in the mud. Difficult shot to take, ends up setting up for Torment. And Ixo can't quite get there. Double tap, and Com has got his team back in.
You know, Com has been that guy right now for Version1, like clawing them back. Scored the equalizer with a brilliantly placed shot in the last game. Now doubles it past the Quadrant defense. He needed to be up quick for that. It wasn't an undefended play, it was a contested ball and a defended goal. Yeah, Com is doing a lot right now for V1. He needs beast mode to start popping off. He needs beast mode to start playing the ball confidently. So we've seen a lot of defense in beast mode, but nothing going forward.
Sort of taken a bit too early there by Ixo. I think they'll be very content with their 1-goal lead for now, but here is beast mode. He's got time, he's got space, and probably expected a challenge much earlier. Beast mode is playing for things that aren't really happening.
And it's mostly because Quadrant know he's not going anywhere there. I mean, beast mode, he's going into the corner. Again, just going towards the corner. Quadrant don't mind that. They're going to let him make as many touches as he wants in that kind of position.
As much boost as you want.
There's no threat of him scoring from that position outside of maybe a crazy reset. Quadrant are just absorbing the pressure. Version1 trying to find an angle to work with. Okay, here's a great chance for beast mode. Now he's got a shot on net. That's threatening. Floor pitches it in. Beast mode has arrived.
And Quadrant just waited too long. Finally, the Ethernet is plugged in.
Oh.
Beast mode is online.
That's exactly what we've been waiting for. Beast mode going towards the net. That is when he's scary. When he is going towards your goal with a flip available at any time, he's going to have any player in the world terrified. Well, actually, Cash almost able to do the same thing there. Right idea, but you know, can V1 start to create those angles again? That was perfect. They had the full half to work with. They had beast mode with 100 boost and an off-the-wall air dribble. Those setups are the kind of plays that beast mode has been farming all season, all year, really.
And we have to look now at what that might do to the long-term planning of Quadrant, because they've been happy just to stay off. Beast mode's kind of been doing nothing. Playing into corners, playing for challenges that have not been coming his way. If Quadrant have now got to be worried that beast mode might just try and take this the entire length of the pitch, then you have to start respecting him a little bit more. He can start mixing it up. Here is Ixo off the wall. Torment tries to get in the way. It's not quite enough, but it does still set up Com for an easier play. Goes towards the backboard. Relating wave, he's missed it!
Oh my!
2-goal lead, and now you're down by 1.
Well, there it is. I mean, it's not a complete freebie, because I think Relating Wave's trying to control that. He's not just trying to hit that anywhere. He does want to control the ball. But at this level, and especially with the form they've had today, you've got to be hitting that. You can't miss in that position. You know Version1 are going to send someone. They've got all 3 players back. They can take the risk of sending someone, even if it does look like an easy defensive read. But Relating Wave's missed it at a key moment while trying to go for, I think, too precise of a touch.
Lovely pass, but still was covered by Com, who will require a lot of thanking from his teammates. He has kept them in this game until Beast Mode really stepped up for his goal. Now for Demo, 10 seconds. Quadrant in a game that they were comfortably winning. Now have to chase. Need to find one opportunity. Here it comes, Ixo. Workable as Relating Wave still pops it into the air. Cash couldn't get there in time. That will be it. Version1 have taken this game. And as always, a 2-goal lead, not as safe as you think it is.
Yeah, what a swing of momentum. Kong with the first goal, double off the backboard. Beast Mode with the second one, double off the ceiling, followed by a little bit of a floor pinch as well. And then we saw Relating Wave totally whiff what should be, I think, at the absolute worst, a hit into the corner. I think, you know, the worst case scenario there that you're hoping for defensively is conceding possession in your back corner. And not a bad attempt to save that first goal there from Beast Mode. This one, yeah, you can't really do too much about that. Right here, you know, he's stretching for that. He's trying to control it into the corner. He doesn't just want to hit it away randomly. He does want to go for a precise touch, but yeah, you got to make sure to get that read right. He didn't. Now Quadrant are in a lot of trouble. The game's kind of been in reverse, or the series has kind of been in reverse. This is sort of what we expected, maybe game one, the capitulation from Quadrant before they settle down, but it's V1 turning around the momentum on them. This moment right here, how Quadrant respond to the adversity that they're currently in, this will tell us a lot about this team.
Hopefully Snavsky has been in their ears trying to pump them back up because they were beaming midway through that last match. But a sucker punch like that can really put you on the wrong tracks. Version1, that's exactly what they need. Com once again. So Disruptor in a different form this time around. It's not been physical plays. It's been just keep the ball moving. Don't make it easy for Quadrant.
Yeah, they're trying to get, I think they're trying to get Beast Mode more involved in offense. We asked for it last game, we're thinking, where's Beast Mode in that final third? We're not seeing those 1v2 plays, those 1v3 plays from him that we're used to seeing. And then he scores a world.
Oh, here we are. There's always that moment of excitement, isn't there?
He actually managed to pass that off into the middle, even though he's probably trying to shoot that one from distance or clear it.
I don't think I've seen a lofted past Cooksclear pitch. That would be a new mechanic for me.
I would have put it past him if he's just come up with that one right now. Yeah, Beast Mode's really waking up here. Quadrant might be in trouble. If they were going pretty even, maybe just outplaying Version1 slightly when Beast Mode was having a quiet start to the series, now that he's online, V1 trying to just finish this one at 4.
Lucy Torment moves in. That's 1-0 for him. Version1 extremely happy with their position in this series. And a quick announcement as well for those of you that are not watching twitch.tv/RLCS. Firstly, make sure you go and do that. That is where all of our secondary matches are happening. Gen G are now 1-0 in their overall Swiss campaign. They have 3 ode power. They will be in a very nice position as the #1 seeds move on.
Yeah, and Power, you know, the OCE2 seed, but the team a lot of people are calling the #1 team from OCE. They did win the two most recent regionals. They've had some pretty good practice form coming into this event, so quality win there for Gen G. Power with a lot to do, as do Quadrant. Right here, Relating Wave had the reset, but it got away from him a little bit. Ball bounces off the front of his car, inviting the challenge. Can Quadrant respond? They have been a bit lost for what to do, for how to deal with the very organized V1. How to deal with a Beast Mode who woke up a bit late, but now he's fully awake and ready to tear them apart.
We have learned anything from this series. That first goal tends not to tell us the entire story. First 2 goals tend to not tell us the entire story, as here's Relating Wave. And 3 cars to get past. Couldn't get past the first. Beast Mode again. Look at the space Beast Mode has been getting as well. It is not like he is getting challenged early. Quadrant have been happy just to rotate everybody towards the back. Beast Mode's recognizing that now. Utilizing the space that he's been given. 1 player off. A miscommunication between the Quadrant players.
And the shot lacking there. If that is supposed to be your final shot of the offensive push, it's obviously got to be on target. It was way off from Cash. This is a reasonable transition now from Version1. They do get a shot on net at the end of it all, but nothing Quadrant can't handle. This is just leaning every single play we see just slightly more towards Version1 as now Relating Wave offloads to Ixo. It's just off target again. Where's that accuracy from Quadrant that we saw earlier in the series?
Quadrant are adamant now about blowing up the goalkeeper. Oh my goodness, Torment almost blew up 2 players without even touching them. Relating Wave over to Cash. Just keep an eye on the goalkeeper for Version1. That is the target. Quadrant, even if they do get that, they need to at least get the shot on target for that to even work. Relating Wave ends up leaving it. 1:48. Can Quadrant send us to Champions Field? Well, it was a hopeful move from Cash. And Beast Mode. Happy to collect, happy to clear. Now happy to go to the opposite side of the field. Torment delays his move in. Every second is horrible for Quadrant to lose. Lays it back down, and Com just loiters. He's so good at just floating around in an awkward spot.
Yeah, V1 looking very much like themselves now. Not just recent online form, but what you think you're going to get from them on land. Just another successful series at the start of a major tournament. Quadrant, meanwhile, you know, we're asking earlier on about where's Beast Mode? Where's the talisman in version 1? He showed up. We've kind of got to say the same thing about Ixo right now, because Cash has been making a lot of aerial plays, but he's not been that one carry online in offense. It's been Ixo and Cash, the 1-2 combination. Ixo defensively has been good, but in offense he's been very quiet, and he's got to show up the way Beast Mode did in the last game. Time running out though, still 1-0 for version 1.
Yeah, Cash has very much been doing more than his job description really entails. There's Calm. Even if this isn't our offensive play, it just buys time. It makes Quadrant have to think. 30 seconds left. I think they better make a move. Beast Mode. Oh, that's a shot! Ixo's caught!
Oh! Well, well. I'm wondering, where's Ixo in offense? Instead, it's Ixo in defense who gets baited in for the corner boost. I mean, he was low on boost there, but you've got to just cover the goal. He's got to identify the threat, and he didn't quickly enough. Version 1 with a very comfortable 2-goal lead now. With just 23 seconds left. Attempted fake kickoff here for Quadrant. Initially, it netted them a possession, but version 1 have swamped them. That might just be the end of the game and the end of the series.
It's been an incredibly disciplined performance from version 1. Despite Quadrant stepping up very early on.
Oh, look at this.
It's version 1 who have become LAN veterans in a very short period of time. Proving it here. Version 1 move over into the 1-0 bracket. Quadrant still will be searching for that one win that will take them to the crowd. They've still got plenty of opportunities to get there.